and welcome to your Wednesday Busy at Maths tutorial for the 24th of February. We're looking at speed in metres per second, not in metres per hour, which you did yesterday. So this bar chart, which is a bit of data within the chapter of time, this bar chart shows how many seconds it took Dara and his friends to complete the 100-metre sack race. Okay, now 100 metres, it's a fair distance, you know. So there's 100 centimetres in each metre there. So there are the seconds, and they jump in fours. As you can see, it starts at 0, then it's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. And then they have Dara, Chloe, Amy, Mike, Marie, and Owen. And how many seconds it took them to complete the 100-metre sack race. So then you've questions based on the information from this bar chart. So you have to use this bar chart to help you answer these questions. So who was, number one, the slowest? So who took the most time? It's a little bit different. It's not like the smallest number, because the smallest number is actually the quickest, isn't it, with this? So it's who took the longest and who's the fastest. Then B, what was the average time taken to complete the 100-metre race? So you know each time, so you can add them, and you know how many children. So you can find your average. Which children went faster than the average time and then slower? So once you know your average, you'll be able to split them into two groups. People who were quicker than that time, so they did it in less time than the average. The number they did it in was smaller than the average. And people who were slower, people who had a larger number than the average. Down here then, the famous Irish runner Paul Hessian ran a 100-metre sprint in 10.18 seconds. To work out his average speed per second on a calculator, we divide the distance by the time. So this is just like here, this formula. How do you work out his speed? We divide the distance by the time. So they're dividing the distance, which is 100 metres, divided by his time. And we get 9.82318, a really long. So, you know, you've got your 10th, your 100th, your 1,000, your 10,000, your 100,000, and it's going on. It's a long number. So what we do is we round it just to two places. So I'm not moving the decimal point. That's not what I mean. But I'm looking at two places after the decimal point. So you've got 0.8 and then 2. So I look at the 2. I'm going to be rounding that up or down. How do I decide what I do with it? I look to the number to the right, the 3. 3 is less than 5, so I keep it as 2. So they round that to 9.82 metres per second. That is insane. That's so fast. So he's running nearly 10 metres per second. So use your calculator to find the average speed per second of these famous athletes. So you've got your distance and you've got your time. Now you need a calculator to work out these averages, just to let you know. So your phone calculator is absolutely fine for these. So you're taking the distance, dividing it by this time, I should say, sorry, to find out his average speed, how many meters they are running per second. So you put it down, the long number you get, like this, in this box, and then you're going to round it like they did to two places. I'll do a couple more examples of rounding in a second. So you're going to check Usain Bolt's average speed for 100 metres. Florence Griffith Joyner, her average speed. Usain Bolt over 200 metres. Florence Griffith Joyner over 200 metres. Michael Johnson over 400 metres. And Marita Koch over 400 metres. 400 metres, that's getting closer to like half a kilometre, just to let you know. So you're dividing these times in. So that's how you work out your speed. I'll come back to that formula again. You can come back in your book and check it. You're working out speed, so you divide distance by time. So there are distances, there are times, dividing in. Then calculate the average speed per second for each child in question 1 above. So the average speed. So what they're saying is what you did here. You know how far they ran, and you know how many seconds they did it in. So again, using your calculator, you would, for example, take Dara here. You divide 100, because that was his distance, by 16. And again, you might get a long number like this, but you want to round it to two places like this. And then you'd go on, you get Chloe, you take the 100 divided by the time she did it in to get the average speed. You'd take Amy, there's the distance divided by her speed to get her average, and so on for each of those children. So that's number 3. So number 1, the questions are based on the graph. Number 2, you're using a calculator to work out the average speeds of each of these runners and rounding it to 2 decimal places. We work out speed by dividing the distance by time. And in the challenge, it took Sophia 35 seconds to run from the music shop to the sports shop, and 55 seconds to run from the sports shop to the coffee shop. What was her average speed for the total distance? So there's the total distance. You have to add those together for the total distance. You have to add those two amounts for her total speed, and then you can find out her average speed by dividing distance by time. Okay, just to do a couple of that rounding examples, because I know I'll create some random numbers now just to show you. I'll move this over so you can really see it. I'll go up so you can really see the size. Okay, 4.5. I'm just literally writing loads of numbers. So I want to round it to 2. There's the decimal point. They're saying to 2 places after the decimal point. So I want it to only have 2 numbers like that after the decimal point, the 6 and the 5. But I have to see, will the 5 be rounded up or will it stay? So I check the number to the right of it, like you would when you're rounding anything. So I'm going to check this number, and it's 7. And I think to myself, I can forget about all of these numbers, it doesn't matter then. It's just the number beside. So I want 2 places. So the 5 is the last one in the end number I want. So then I check, okay, 7. Will that push my 5 up or will it keep it the same? And I know it'll push it up. So the 5 will become 1 bigger than the 6, and then I get rid of the rest of them. So it rounds to that. So again, that was the number there, the original number, and now I say it's going to round to 4.66. Okay, I'll do another one. 5. Oh, here, I'll go back to black font. 5 point. Right, there we go. I'll just throw in a couple of other numbers. Again, to 2 decimal places, so these are the 2 numbers I want to keep after the decimal place. 8 is the last one in that line. So I check the number right beside the 8 to see what happens to the 8. Will it stay as 8 or will it be rounded? And in this case, it's 1, which is less than 5. So it stays the same. So the new number will be 1.98. The 8 stays the same because the 1 didn't round it up. Remember, the numbers that it stays if the number beside it is a 1, 2, 3, 4, or it's supposed to 0 there, they won't change it, and it goes up if it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like that. So let's try another one. 1.2. There's, it doesn't even matter how many more. So I just want to look at the first 2. They're 2 and 3. 3 is the last one in the row, so I check the number beside it, which is 0. 0 is less than 5, so it keeps it. It keeps the 3 the same, so it'll be 1.23. Last example, we'll do 8.12578. Okay, these are the 2. I want 2 numbers after the decimal point, so I want to keep the 1 and the 2. But will the 2 change? Well, let's check the number right next to it. It's 5. And yes, 5 is in that group of going up. So the new number will be 8.13. Okay, so that's what I mean about rounding here and rounding here. Best of luck. If you have any questions, just message